Hi everyone, Hadley here with Hillcrest Tennis. Today we are going to be talking a little bit about some of the stuff that we have been discussing in our tennis clinics this week. First off, we've really been working a lot on ball control and being able to hit to certain spots, being able to have that control and that feel as you're hitting, and just developing that consistency. 3 to 4 balls, because as we all know, 75% of points are won or finished before 0 to 4 balls are hit. So we're really working on just having that mentality of not trying to overhit and to out-hit our opponent, but rather outlast our opponent, so to speak, and we're just trying to extend our threshold just by 1 or 2 more balls. But really, this week we've really tried to focus on that. And as a tennis staff, we've really noticed a huge change in patterns of play and the ability to stay in the point a little bit longer. And so we're able to develop points, and we're able to set ourselves up for a little bit more success, rather than missing the ball in the net off of the first or second shot. So really, we're really working hard to really change our mindset, change our mentality, and how we approach staying in the point. And so one of the drills that we've been doing a lot of is we've been setting up cones in the middle of the court, in the middle of the half court, and probably 4 or 5 feet in from the baseline. So it's a high percentage shot depth wise, and then we're about 2 to 4 feet somewhere in there, just based on the group, but 2 to 4 feet in from the single sideline. And then what we do is we try and have our partner keep their toes on the baseline, and then we'll have a person at the net volleying to this cone here. And really, we've seen a huge change in not only our footwork, but also our timing has gotten better, and we're also making more balls. Our accuracy has gotten better. And also, the thing about having this cone here is it creates a little bit of confusion with the person on the baseline. It creates kind of an obstacle. So, you have to work with that. And so you're watching the ball a little bit better as well, because you can't focus on the cone. You have to focus on the ball that's being hit. And so as we get better at this drill, as we get better at controlling the ball and hitting to those spots every time, we then in turn have the ability and capabilities when point play starts to stay in the point a little bit longer. We have a little bit more confidence in how we approach our point play, because we know that we can hit cross court, and we get that depth, and then we have the high percentage shot when point play starts. So really, that's one of the big things, and we'll also do this with players back, so they're rallying on the baseline. Both players are rallying to a cone, trying to hit the cone as well. One thing that we really like to do here at Hillcrest is we like to also have a person that's kind of the person that's on. So what they'll do is they'll be hitting to the cone, and then anything short, when they have that invitation, they can come forward and play it out at the net. But again, just trying to create opportunities for our players and your players to get both players, to have that mentality of both players need to come to the net. And the best strategy and patterns for that is hitting the ball deep, so that you in turn receive a short ball, so that you can then transition forward towards the net. And so in turn, we then need to make sure that we've established a strong base at the net, and having the right mentality to make sure that our net play is strong. And one of the things that I see a lot of is missing volleys in the net, and that is, to me, the worst mistake we can make is hitting that ball into the net. When you're that close to the net, there should be no errors. There should be no errors at the net, into the net when you are especially transitioning forward. If anything, we need to be missing long, because our target is the baseline. And I had a little bit of a discussion in my private lesson this morning. We talked about, the pattern of play is basically 2 or 3 balls cross court, and then at that point, it should be a ball that you or your partner can put away. But your job as the person on the baseline is to first set up your partner at the net. That you're setting your partner up to hit the winner. You will not be the one that hits the winner. And second, and also, you're the one that is establishing the rally. So you have a big job to make sure that you can have that ability to stay in the point, and then also being able to transition forward to the net, because you ideally want both players at the net, because that's your ideal holy grail situation. That's where we want to be. We establish, when you're at the net, you're in control. You make your opponent feel defensive, and then in turn you create opportunities for yourself to finish off the point. So again, it all kind of circles back to being able to create patterns of play by using your shot selection, and then being able to use your positioning on the court to establish dominance within the point. And so that's really what we've been working on at Hillcrest. We're really trying to get the mentality of aggressive, being strong at the net, holding your ground, and really making that transition forward, so that we're not stuck back here in no man's land, but we really want to be looking for those opportunities to come forward and to be aggressive. But going back to some of the things that will help your volleys, no mistakes in the net. You are in control of the point, so there's no need to try and hit a winner. There's no need to try and take a huge swing. We can't complicate things at this point. You're in control, so just make sure that you stay in control. And then your volleys should be going towards the baseline. And what I always like to say is, if the ball is hard and low, you hit back to where the ball came from. If it's a high and die, then at that point you can change direction. But otherwise, solid volleys cross court, nice and deep to where this cone is. It's high percentage. And then come forward. Your first volley should always go cross court. If you're transitioning towards the net, your first volley goes cross court. And then at that point, now you've created an opportunity, and now the structure of the point is established. And now whatever happens from there is, you really want to make sure that you keep the ball in front of your partner. And really, if you're going to miss long. And so, these kinds of mentalities, these kinds of tips and strategies and patterns of play are all things that we have to integrate within our mindset as we approach point play. And really what we're trying to establish here at Hillcrest is just making sure that we have this understanding of how we can create successful points, and then in turn it starts to roll over into those into success and on the court. with winds and things like that. So anyway, I hope some of this helps. It clarifies some of the stuff that we've been discussing in clinics this week and also in our private lessons. We will continue to progress and to use these basic fundamental patterns and trying to create opportunities for our members to have some success on the tennis court. So hope to see you down here next week. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you back next week. Thanks.